I found something strange in my basement. It was on an unremarkable Saturday afternoon when I decided to finally tackle the chore that I had been putting off for months, cleaning out the basement. The space was more of a forgotten relic than a part of the house, filled with boxes of old clothes, broken appliances, and forgotten childhood toys. The air was heavy with the musty scent of damp concrete and dust. With a broom in one hand and a trash bag in the other, I began the slow, methodical process of shifting boxes and tossing what was clearly junk. It was halfway through clearing the area behind the old furnace that I noticed something odd. The wall, which should have been plain cinder block, had a seam running through it, forming a narrow doorframe that was almost imperceptible in the dim basement light. Curiosity gnawed at me. I set down the broom and ran my fingers along the seam, searching for a latch or a lever. As if sensing my touch, a faint metallic click echoed in the silence, and the hidden door creaked open by just an inch. A chill that had nothing to do with the basement's usual dampness trickled down my spine. The space beyond was dark, darker than anything I'd ever seen, as if it swallowed the light whole. I hesitated, telling myself it was just another room, maybe a storage area that the previous owner had walled off and forgotten. But as I retrieved my flashlight and directed the beam into the pitch-black space, the sight made my heart stutter. It was a small, windowless room lined with shelves, each crowded with jars of varying sizes. The contents were murky, suspended in some kind of viscous liquid that shimmered in the light. On closer inspection, I could see what was in them: preserved specimens, some that resembled twisted, malformed animals and others that defied all explanation. One jar held what looked like a miniature, desiccated wing, its veins stark against shriveled skin, while another contained a small hand, too human-like for comfort. I stepped back, pulse pounding in my ears. This couldn't be real. Who in their right mind would keep something like this? I took a deep breath, trying to convince myself that it was some elaborate prank, a collection from a morbid hobbyist, anything but what my mind was beginning to suggest. As I debated calling someone, the police, maybe, a glint from the far corner caught my attention. There, on a low table, lay a leather-bound journal. It looked ancient, its cover cracked and brittle, yet the symbol embossed on the front was disturbingly fresh, as if carved yesterday. A circle surrounding an eye, encased in geometric patterns that seemed to shift under the beam of the flashlight. With trembling hands, I opened it. The pages were filled with cramped handwriting, letters jagged and uneven as if the writer had been in a hurry or under duress. To anyone who finds this, one of the early entries read, "Know that you must leave this room at once. Do not linger, do not touch anything, and do not speak of it aloud." I glanced back at the jars, now appearing more sinister under the weight of that warning. The following pages chronicled strange experiments, attempts to commune with something not of this world. Drawings of unearthly symbols and cryptic instructions dotted the journal, along with notes on whispers that could only be heard in complete silence and movements in the shadows that were just out of sight. A sudden noise broke the silence, a soft shuffle, as if something had moved behind me. I spun around, the flashlight beam quivering as it searched the darkness. Nothing moved, yet the air felt different, dense with a presence that hadn't been there before. I slammed the journal shut, the echo ricocheting off the stone walls. The thought of staying any longer was unbearable. I backed out of the room, my eyes locked on the sliver of darkness as I pushed the hidden door closed. Upstairs, the light of the afternoon sun felt alien, glaring and too bright. I shut the basement door and leaned against it, the heavy thud of my heartbeat resonating in my ears. I still don't know what I found that day, or why it was there. The journal sits in a locked drawer now, its warnings branded into my memory. I've thought of going back down, of calling someone to investigate, but the fear grips me before I take a single step. The jars and their secrets remain untouched, hidden in the dark where they belong. And sometimes, late at night when the house is silent, I think I hear that soft shuffle again, a reminder that some doors are meant to stay closed.